I'm John Irvin here with Kenny Aronoff, and we're going to be asking a few questions.
And we're your interviewers, and I'm Matt Barnes.
I'm Kevin Prawl.
And I'm Reed Busey.
And I'm Justin Belgard. And I'm Ken.
Kenny, what band are you currently playing with?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm starting a tour with the Smashing Pumpkins.
Cool. All right. Next question.
Is it true you're going to be playing a song for Korn?
Well, I was in the studio getting an autograph for Nick, and next thing you know, they asked me to sit down and play the drums, and next thing you know, they were jamming with me, and then they rolled the tape, and they said that possibly that would be on the next record, but you never know, because a band like that might record 40 songs and only put 13 on the record. But they had said that, hey, I said, he can have a copy of that tape so I can bring it back to Nick. And they said, well, man, no, but you might be on the record. So you never know. It'd be pretty wild.
What bands have you previously played with
You mean in the studio or on tour?
on tour?
I mean, that's good, because if it was a studio, we'd have to list 500. On tour, of course, I did 17 years with John Mellencamp, and then at one point I went out with the Jefferson Airplane, which was a band from the 60s, went out with Richard Thompson, went out with Marshall Crenshaw, and then in the last 2 years I went on an arena tour with Bob Seger, and then I went on a arena tour with Melissa Etheridge, and then I went on a smaller type of tour with John Fogerty, formerly of Creedence Clearwater, and now I'm going to start a tour with the Smashing Pumpkins all over the world.
Out of all the bands that you've played with, which is like your most memorable time with them?
That's a tough question, because I enjoy every experience. I mean, how could I not enjoy all those years with Mellencamp? That was a blast. We were the biggest band in the USA at the time, so that was great. But then when I went out with Seeger, it was cool too, because it was a sold-out arena tour. You know what I mean? It's like every tour is great. Melissa's tour was great because the music was so cool. I got to have a drum solo and really stretch out and do things I don't usually do. Fogerty was amazing because the music was historical. It was like he was one of the originators of rock and roll, and plus I was featured a lot. I'm hoping that the Pumpkins is going to be the most exciting, most different, most incredible experience of them all. But so to answer your question, there is no one experience that's the best. It's all great, you know.
Have you met any of the members of Smashing Pumpkins yet?
Yeah, I met the main three people, because I had I was in Los Angeles and I flew all the way to New York and had an audition about 1 o'clock in the morning, because Billy was mixing. He was finishing up the record, you know. So I met Billy, and I met James, and I met Darcy, and we played for about 35 minutes. So I really don't know him that well, but it's like, I guess I will after the summer's over.
All right.
What was John Mellencamp like?
John was he was a real intense person. I mean, he demanded, you know, the best out of you, and he worked us hard. He worked himself hard. He was, you know, he was just, I guess the main thing about him was I think he was a great songwriter. He wrote great songs, and, you know, the type of songs that'll be played forever. He's kind of like, reminds me of like Bobby Knight, you know, a real intense coach that expects a lot out of the players that play for him. So,
How long is the Smashing Pumpkins tour going to last?
the Smashing Pumpkins tour, the plan is to go rehearse in about 10 days up in Chicago. Then we'll rehearse for about a month. And then May 12th, we start a tour. We start somewhere like in Russia or somewhere way over there. And we'll go probably until either August 1st or August 12th. Now, the idea is that they're putting out this new record called Adore, which will be out like in about a month, I think, in May. So they're putting out this record called Adore, and this is a heavy promotional tour. We're just going to go from country to country, you know, Africa, you know, well, We'll go through Africa, we'll go through Europe, we'll go through South America, Asia, and then we'll do 10 shows apparently in the USA. All this is subject to change. They change stuff all the time. The idea is to stop at the end in August and then take a month off and then go back and do another record immediately. This record is more of a pop, more laid back record. That's what I heard. And then the next record is going to be really heavy, like the way they play when they play real heavy. This is all the plan. You know, if this record does well, maybe they'll keep us on tour for longer because they change things all the time. I mean, tours do. But the plan is to stop, you know, in the beginning of August or the middle of August.
Question for Nick. How's it like having your dad like all over the world and you're just like stuck at Bachelor?
Well, I miss him when he's gone, but it's cool to know that what he's doing is what exactly his job is. It's cool to know that he does that.
Oh wait, I remembered. Okay. Have you ever like toured to different countries before in different bands?
Yeah. Well, I've been to Europe with Mellencamp, and I've been to Australia and Japan with Mellencamp. Europe, you know, meaning, you know, Italy, France, Germany. I've been to Scandinavia with them. Went to Scandinavia with Fogarty, which is like, you know, Norway, Sweden, Finland. Believe it or not, Fogarty is huge over there. He's like, it's his biggest country. He's bigger there than he is here. He's huge over there. He's like 15,000 seats a night. But I've not been to some of these places. I'm going to go with the Pumpkins. I've not been to Russia, and I've not been to. Well, so we may be going to like Greece or someplace like that. You know, I've never been there, so it'll be exciting. It's going to be pretty cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. Plus the music, the music he's trying to do is different. He doesn't want to do everything the way you've heard like on his last two records, you know, Siamese and the Melancholy record. He wants me to listen to like a lot of Pink Floyd and a lot of the Doors and we're going to really improvise. Some songs are going to go like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just kind of really vibing out and start real mellow and then get real loud. Because he says everybody knows that he already knows how to play real heavy. So he's taking a different approach to his music this time. When I say he, I mean Billy Corgan.
Did you like the other members of Smashing Pumpkins when you met them?
It's funny you ask that because Darcy never even said hi to me. When we were playing, she didn't even look at me. It wasn't until we were done that I went up to her and shook her hand. That was it. I never even hung out with her. James, I had a little bit of a talk. He's really shy. But I had a little talk with him because a lot of times he and I stay in the same hotel in Los Angeles, and we just talked about that. Billy was really, really nice. He's the one I talked to the most. But I was only there for 35 minutes, so.
No.
So I really don't even know who they are really yet. It's kind of wild to be going around the world with somebody you don't know.
Is it hard to like change between the music from from
This,
Smashing
yeah, I
Pumpkins?
know, between styles.
Yeah.
This was a tough one. See, usually I became famous as a rock drummer, but for what they call singer-songwriter type songs. Like songs that are just more like you have an introduction to a song, then you have a verse, and then a chorus, and a verse, and a chorus, and you can sing the melody real easy. And I really support the lyrics in a song. But now, this type of music is way more technique. I have to really work. I spend maybe an hour in the morning and an hour at night just working on a single stroke roll to get my speed. A single stroke roll is like this. So I work on that for like 2 hours a day to bring my technique up. And what I had to do is listen to the music and really analyze what it was different about their music and the music I'm used to playing. There's a lot more that the drummer has to do as far as technique and speed and flash and stuff. So I designed a program of what I would practice to elevate my technique. It's just like sports. If you played on a team that their strategy, let's say in basketball, is to play a slow game, and now you have to play a fast game, then you have to work on your skills to build your speed up. So that's essentially what I'm doing now, is I've had to really increase my technique to be able to play with the Pumpkins.
Well, thanks for the interview. That was Kenny Aronoff live from Bachelor.